questions will be in English, and we don't need perfect. Good.
Hi, Russell. How's the squad looking heavy tomorrow? And obviously we know Hamza hasn't travelled. Can you give us an update on that situation as well?
Yes, I expect. I think we all expect that to come to a close very soon, and he won't be our player anymore. So that'll be that, and everyone else is pretty much here. So looking forward to a big game tomorrow.
How disappointing and disruptive has that situation been since the weekend?
Not really. I haven't seen him. So he had a scan yesterday. Got assessed. And then obviously stuff's happening today, so he wasn't in, so it hasn't been disruptive moving forward at all.
See as a player and a former captain, if that had happened when you were playing, how would you have dealt with it as a teammate?
I don't know. I don't recall too many instances happen. I think I always just said to the players, just be honest with yourself and with us as teammates, and I'd much rather that happen before the game than during it. It's happened, we moved forward, we dealt with it. He's got what he wanted. Well, he looks likely to get what he wanted, to play somewhere else, and it means we've got a sum of money that we wanted for him. So ideally it wouldn't have happened, but it did, and now we move forward and we can move on.
In terms of, there's obviously things going on in-house, also with the player returning late from pre-season. You've obviously maybe tried to shield them from that. How disappointing on a personal level was that for a professional player to not just for you but for his teammates as well?
No, I just think one day when we won a lot of games and won something here at the club, maybe we can sit down and be really honest about the first couple of months and what you have to deal with. But it's really difficult. It was the same at Southampton. So many players thought their future would lie elsewhere. Towards the end of the window we had a really bad run of form because so many players were being told by their agents, by other clubs, that they'll get it done next week, next 2 weeks, next few days, wait till the end of the window, we'll get a favourable deal. And then we ended up with probably 15 players who thought they were still going to be leaving the club up until probably a week before, and then 4 or 5 who thought they were going to leave on transfer deadline day. So that team then went on to be 25 games unbeaten, because once the window's shut, they realised, okay, now we're here, we can settle down and we can actually get to work. So it's not a surprise to me. It's not the player's fault. It's really not. It's really difficult for a young man that doesn't speak the language, that's being told, don't worry, your future's going to be elsewhere, and then I'm asking him to be all in and do this, and this is what we need from you, and all that stuff. So difficult. So I don't take it personally. For Hamza, the group's been amazing in terms of their willingness. It's certainly not a lack of effort. And it's not the reason we didn't win on Sunday. It's frustrating, but it's part and parcel of the transfer window. But the rest of the guys that we have here have been fantastic. Maybe 1 or 2 of them will not be here by the end of next week, but whilst they are here, they're giving us everything they've got. And I think that's all I can ask is whilst you're here, give everything you've got.
And just a kind of final question on that, just for clarity, as far as you're concerned, the scans showed that there was no injury issue?
I expect him to pass his medical, yeah.
Just in terms of the rest of the squad, Russell, Cyril Dessers, he okay to play, and who else is?
Yes, Cyril's here and he's good to go, yeah.
Anybody else different from the squad at the weekend?
No, I don't think so. All good, yeah.
Just in terms of the tie, how do you approach tomorrow night? Obviously a bit of a shot to nothing given the events in the first leg. How do you see it heading into match number 2?
I'm excited about it. I think we have a real chance to come here and attack it. And every team will have a plan, so it'll be interesting to see what their plan is, and I'm sure it'll be to try and build on their margin that they're winning by. But we've been in the other end of this position already twice, going into games not quite knowing how the opposition would approach it. So our energy and our mentality has to really alter their plan very quickly and make their energy change. So they're a good team, we know that. I think they felt we were a good team in the second half, and I hope we put enough good moments together in that second half to make sure that they have a little bit of fear of what's to come, and we're ready for them. So we're going to attack it and see where it takes us. It's exciting. This game is very much alive, and the tie is very much alive in our eyes.
So what gives you the belief and the confidence in terms of what you've seen in the performances so far? What gives you the belief that things are still moving forward and progressing the way you would want to do?
Well, the guys run more in the last game against Bruges than they have done for 2 years, pretty much 2 years at this football club. So they're willing to run for us, they're willing to work for us. At the minute, like I said, we have a little bit of inconsistency in selection, trying to find a rhythm, trying to find a way, and the different games we've come across, but things will settle down very soon. So the fact they're willing to run so hard for us as a group and for each other suggests to me that it's going to be okay and we're going to move forward. So I've said to you all the way along, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore, I don't think this was a quick fix for any manager in football to come in here and expect it to click overnight with so much gone on, so much change and all that stuff. But we have a game tomorrow to really attack and see where we're really at and see how much we progress and see how much we can improve from the first leg. So it's an exciting week for us.
Right, so is it your belief that one big win, one big performance could really spark this team and give it that confidence to go in and play the way you want to see it play?
Yeah, I think it will settle the guys down a little bit. They need to feel evidence of it working. At the minute, we haven't been able to get over the line in the league games, but I've said to them, like, we've lost 2 games out of 9 together. We want to win every single game, so it's been frustrating, but it's also not like the end of the world. And this week can really change things for us and how people feel about it. How we feel about the work we're doing inside the building doesn't change. We work as hard as we possibly can on something to make sure the players understand what's really important, and we have to find some consistency and flow in that, and that comes with energy, really. So we have to maintain that all the time, and I'm excited about what the group can achieve. I really am.
The full-time scenes with the fans and Paisley's, I imagine tough for you and the players to take. How are the players in terms of that mentality and the sort of mood within the camp after obviously seeing the fans' frustration almost turn to anger at yourself and the team?
So I think the guys that have been here would have seen it before. I've seen it before at previous clubs, and so like you can't be influenced or swayed by it. So on a professional level you have to really focus. Then on a personal level I'm sure some people will feel it way more than others. So I have the benefit in hindsight of being a player and then stepping away from it and then becoming a coach and manager and really understanding what it's for and what it's about. And also, like, there's an unwritten contract between players and a team and fans, and the team has to dictate the energy of the fans. I really believe that. So we didn't give them enough to... The last half hour they were amazing. So during the game they were brilliant. They have been. The second half last week, after a really difficult first half, they were brilliant. And I'm grateful for that. Then after the game and you haven't won, of course there's going to be frustration, so I understand that. I think the players understand that. We've spoke about it. But there is, like I said, the unwritten contract between us and the fans is that we have to really define that and define the energy of the supporters. I don't think it comes the other way around, I really don't. So we have to do a bit more to make sure that we are giving them something to cheer about at the end of the game. I really believe that, and I really believe we will. So I'm not going to criticise the supporters one bit. They're the most important people at the club. And I think a lot of them understand what's going on and the change that was needed here and is necessary. And then there'll be some that are really unhappy because we're not winning as many games as they would like. So that's understandable, especially at this amazing football club. So, but I'm really calm and I'm really convinced that we'll change that energy. And the reaction at the end of the games when we're winning and we're in flow will be beautiful, and we'll all share it together.
Do you admit that although you want this process to continue and to be done right, that results need to start coming? The fans' patience can only handle so much before they start turning to you.
Well, like, it's not my concern if they my concern is that I only have a problem if the owners then start turning to me or Kevin. And at the minute everyone is really calm. That I think everyone understands inside the building that this is we want to win things this season for sure. And we're like 3 league games in, so nothing is lost. We qualified for the Europa League. With a team that's going to look very, very different to the team that's probably playing games in a few weeks, and I'm really proud of that with the guys so early on in the process. So we have everything to play for. So despite the frustration of 3 draws in the league, we're in we're not even in September yet. The transfer window's still open, and it's a long old season. So we're actually still in every competition that we're vying for. We'll have a chance in every competition. So whilst I let all the noise and all that stuff, the minute I let that affect me personally will be a big problem for all of us. So I think it's a strong point for us, the coaching staff, is that we'll keep on working and be consistent with the players because they need that. There's been a lack of consistency here for quite some time, so we'll be consistent, and I believe it will take us to big improvements and winning a lot and being real contenders for everything we play for.
I also spoke there about how big a week this could potentially be for the whole club. Is that how you're framing it for the group as a week, or do you necessarily have to split it into those?
No, we've not
two
spoke
centre
about Sunday yet. Genuinely, today, tomorrow, and the preparation for tomorrow's game has been the most important bit. I don't think you can ever start looking forward to the next game, whatever that game is. So get tomorrow out of the way, put a performance in we're proud of, that the away fans, the travelling fans are proud of, that wins us the game, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Last one.
Russell, you talked about the unhappy fans. There were some of them. You admitted that. How important is it to get those fans back on side and kind of unite the fan base as a whole, and how much will that affect the energy of the team as well? Yeah,
but like I said, I think football fans, wherever you are happy when their team's winning. So we have to do that for them, and then I'm sure we'll enjoy many brilliant moments together. We've had a couple already of nights where it's felt, Panathinaikos at home, away, Pilsen at home was fantastic. So we need to create more moments like that for them, and then to convince them that this is part of something. But every fan I've bumped into has been great, and really understands the need that the club needs something now, and the club has a really brilliant ownership groups and brilliant people in the club leading the club now with real clear path and plan, and they're all really calm. So I think like the frenzy sometimes, and the ups and downs and the highs and lows, and the real the gap between those sometimes has dictated probably the decision making of the football club, and I don't think it's helped it. So is my opinion anyway, and I think it's the opinion shared by most of the people inside the club. So we're here, we attack it. I'm really enjoying it despite the frustration at the moment we all feel, supporters and coaches, staff and players, and we'll just keep working to be better and give everything we've got, and I think that's all you can ever do. So we're really clear on what needs to happen. We have a big week ahead of us, we have a big night tomorrow that we can all attack and try and enjoy, and then we'll look after the rest after.
Okay.
All
Thank
good.
you guys. Cheers.